The Normans were the descendants of Vikings who settled in northern France in 911, and in little over a century they'd become a powerful Christian duchy. They became increasingly interested in England when Edward the Confessor inherited the throne of the Anglo-Saxon kingdom in 1042. Edward was the son of a Norman princess and spent many years in Normandy in his youth, and once he was in power, he appointed many Normans into powerful positions in England. Edward died childless in 1066, and there were no clear successors to the throne, so three competitors emerged. William, Duke of Normandy, claimed that he was promised the throne by King Edward himself. King Harold III Hardrada of Norway used historic claims. He said that an agreement between the old King of Norway, Magnus I, and Harthacnut of England entitled him to the throne. However, the Witenagemot, a council of nobles, elected Harold Godwinson, Earl of Wessex, as king. The other claimants soon began to prepare for an invasion. Harold Hardrada established an alliance with Harold Godwinson's brother, Tostig, who had been exiled from England a year before. Tostig recruited a number of mercenaries from Europe and led attacks within England in mid-1066. Then King Harold Hardrada attacked. In September he landed with 15,000 men in northern England, met up with Tostig's army, and together they occupied York. Harold Godwinson marched an army up north and devastated the Norwegian forces at the Battle of Stamford Bridge. However, the battle took its toll on his army. William of Normandy then mustered together his forces, around 10,000 strong, and set sail for England. They arrived in southern England in late September and constructed a castle in Hastings. Harold Godwinson, fresh from battle, began to march his army back down south. With around 7,000 men, he met William in the Battle of Hastings on the 14th of October 1066. Harold's forces were mainly militiamen and housecarls, while William had archers, cavalry and infantry. The Normans were able to break the English defensive walls by feigning retreats. This allowed their cavalry to wreak havoc on the English. Then, although sources differ as to how, Harold Godwinson was killed in the afternoon, and the English surrendered. However, back in London, the Witenagemot elected Edgar the Atheling king. William then moved his army into London and crowned himself king on Christmas 1066. He then set about establishing his control by replacing the English aristocracy with Normans and building many castles. Rebellions sprang up across the country from Dover to the Scottish borders, the largest of which was in Northumbria, where in 1069 the uncrowned King Edgar returned from exile to be the figurehead of a rebellion. He formed an alliance with King Sweyn II of Denmark, and together they took York. William eventually retook York and then committed what some have called a genocide. The harrying of the north saw thousands slaughtered indiscriminately, food stocks pillaged, and the land salted. Thousands of English fled to the Byzantine Empire. There, many of them joined the elite bodyguard of the emperor, the Varangian Guard, and allegedly established colonies on the Black Sea. Back in England in 1075, William had to crush a rebellion led by earls in the south of England, and then fought back another Danish assault. But eventually the rebels ceased and William's control was assured. With the Normans in control, the language, landscape, culture and administration of England changed dramatically. The Norman dynasty would go on to invade parts of Ireland and Wales and expand their holdings in France until its dissolution in 1154.